What would you do if your child didn't come home from school one day? If the hours turned into days, and each passing minute made your heart race with fear? For the family of 13-year-old Madeline Soto, this nightmare became a harrowing reality, a reality that ended in unimaginable tragedy. Osceola County, Florida, is a place known for its serene landscapes and tight-knit communities. But in early 2024, this peaceful county became the center of a chilling mystery that gripped the nation. The name Madeline Soto quickly spread across headlines, sparking a wave of concern and a desperate search that would end in heartbreak. Madeline was a typical 13-year-old, full of life, with dreams and aspirations like any other teenager. She lived with her family in a modest neighborhood, where she was well-loved by those who knew her. A bright student, she enjoyed spending time with her friends and had a close-knit relationship with her mother, Jennifer Soto. But on February 26, 2024, the normalcy of her life was shattered. That morning, Madeline left for school like she did every other day. She packed her bag, kissed her mother goodbye, and walked out the door. But she never made it to school. Hours passed, and when the school day ended without Madeline returning home, her mother's concern quickly turned into panic. Calls to Madeline's phone went unanswered, and after contacting the school, Jennifer was faced with the chilling realization that her daughter never arrived. According to Stearns, he left Madeline off near her school on February 26th, which led to her first report of missing. Mother Madeline found out her daughter hadn't attended school that day when she arrived to get her from Hunters Creek Middle School at around 4:30 in the afternoon. The search begins. The disappearance of Madeline Soto sent shockwaves through the Osceola County community. Local law enforcement immediately launched a search, enlisting the help of volunteers, K-9 units, and helicopters to comb through the area. Flyers with Madeline's picture were posted in every shop window, and social media was flooded with pleas for information. As the hours turned into days, the hope of finding Madeline alive began to wane. Her family was thrust into a nightmarish limbo, clinging to the possibility that she might still be found safe. But with no leads and no sightings, the case grew cold quickly. The community that had rallied together in search of the missing girl now feared the worst. Remember, if you're passionate about justice and want to see more cases like Madeline's brought to light, make sure to subscribe and join our community of true crime advocates. A gruesome discovery. Then, in March 2024, the search came to a devastating end. In a remote, rural area of Osceola County, Madeline's lifeless body was discovered. The news hit the community like a tidal wave, leaving everyone in shock and disbelief. How could this have happened? Who could have done something so heinous to a young girl with her whole life ahead of her? The details of how Madeline's body was found were kept under wraps as the investigation deepened. Law enforcement was careful not to release too much information, focusing instead on piecing together the events that led to her death. But the discovery only fueled more questions. Was this a random act of violence, or did Madeline know her attacker? Was there something in her life that could have hinted at this tragedy? The Orange County Sheriff's Office announced the arrest of Stearns on February 28th, a few days before Madeline's death was discovered, due to the distressing evidence purportedly obtained on his phone during their investigation. For years, Soto has been accused of being sexually abused by him. The sexual assault allegedly began in 2022, according to the documents. According to a police affidavit from Kissimmee, Stearns tried to restore his phone to factory settings on the day she vanished. Since the sexual violence allegedly occurred inside the family's Kissimmee home, the investigation was taken over by the Kissimmee Police Department. From Orange County to Osceola County, Stearns was moved to the new prison on the morning of March 1st. Stearns asked for legal representation and failed to answer questions following his arrest, leading Orange County investigators to speculate that he may have knowledge of Soto's whereabouts the day after. The investigation concluded that Madeline was never left near her school because of this. After shifting their attention, investigators began to piece together additional details about the events of the morning of February 26th. At around 7:35 a.m., investigators allegedly discovered footage showing the Stearns throwing objects into a trash at their Kissimmee apartment complex. The trash turned out to be the location of Madeline's school laptop and bag. Around 8:19 a.m., investigators saw Stearns driving the youngster back to the apartment complex. It is believed by OCSO that Soto had already passed away when Stearns was seen in the vehicle with her. The investigation unfolds. As investigators dug deeper into Madeline's life, they also uncovered a web of complexities that only added to the mystery. It was revealed that Madeline had been in contact with someone online, someone who at first appeared to be a friend. In today's digital age, the dangers of online interactions are all too real, and Madeline's case brought this harsh reality into focus. The investigators began tracing her digital footprint, hoping to uncover the identity of the person she had been communicating with. Could this individual be connected to her disappearance and death? The possibility was chilling. In cases like these, where the internet serves as a medium for predators to reach out to vulnerable children, the consequences can be devastating. Madeline's friends and family were interviewed extensively, providing insight into her behavior in the days leading up to her disappearance. Some friends mentioned that she had been quieter than usual, perhaps troubled by something she didn't feel comfortable sharing. But none of them could have imagined the horror that would unfold. A community in mourning. The news of Madeline's death left Osceola County in mourning. Candlelight vigils were held, and the community came together to support the Soto family in their time of grief. Madeline's school held a memorial service, where her classmates and teachers shared memories of a girl who was full of promise and potential. The outpouring of support was overwhelming, but it couldn't erase the pain of losing a child. Jennifer Soto, Madeline's mother, was inconsolable. The loss of her daughter was a wound that would never heal. In interviews, she spoke of the unbearable grief she felt, the emptiness that had taken over her life. Madeline was her world, and now that world was shattered. The pursuit of justice. With the discovery of Madeline's body, the case shifted from a search to a hunt for justice. Law enforcement was under immense pressure to find the person responsible for this horrific crime. The investigation continued with renewed vigor as detectives worked around the clock to follow every lead, no matter how small. As the investigation progressed, suspicions grew around a few individuals, but without solid evidence, the case remained frustratingly unresolved. The public's demand for answers intensified, and the pressure on law enforcement mounted. Every parent in the community was on edge, fearing for their own children's safety and demanding justice for Madeline. One of the most critical aspects of the investigation was the forensic analysis. Experts were brought in to examine the evidence found at the scene where Madeline's body was discovered. DNA analysis, digital forensics, and the examination of Madeline's belongings all played crucial roles in building a case. However, the process was painstakingly slow, and each day without an arrest felt like a day too long. Unanswered questions. As the investigation dragged on, a cloud of uncertainty hung over the case. There were many theories, but few concrete answers. Was this the work of a serial predator? Or was it someone Madeline knew and trusted? Did the online communications hold the key to solving the case? Or was there something more sinister at play? For Madeline's family, the lack of closure was excruciating. Jennifer Soto became a voice for her daughter, demanding justice and refusing to let her story fade into the background. She vowed to keep fighting until the person responsible for her daughter's death was brought to justice. But with each passing day, the hope of a resolution seemed to slip further away. The community, once united in their search for Madeline, now grappled with the harsh reality that justice might not come as swiftly as they had hoped. The case became a haunting reminder of how fragile life can be and how quickly a community can be torn apart by tragedy. This case has left many unanswered questions. What do you think happened to Madeline? Leave your theories in the comments. Your insights might help keep the conversation going. The bigger picture, Madeline's case is not just a story of a life lost too soon. It's a stark reminder of the dangers that lurk in our modern world. The internet, while a powerful tool for connection and education, can also be a gateway for predators to reach unsuspecting victims. Madeline's death highlighted the importance of vigilance in monitoring online interactions, especially for vulnerable children. The case also brought to light the challenges law enforcement faces in solving crimes that involve digital footprints. The complexities of cyber investigations can slow down the pursuit of justice, leaving families and communities in agonizing limbo. In Madeline's case, the digital trail was a critical piece of the puzzle, but it also underscored how difficult it can be to bring predators to justice in a world where anonymity is easily achieved. As the investigation into Madeline's death continues, her story serves as a cautionary tale for parents, educators, and communities. It's a call to action to protect our children from the unseen dangers that can lurk behind a screen, and to remain vigilant in the face of unimaginable loss. If you found the story as heartbreaking as we did, make sure to subscribe for more true crime cases that need to be heard. Your support helps keep these stories alive. A tragic legacy. Madeline Soto's death is a tragedy that will not soon be forgotten. Her story has left an indelible mark on Osceola County and beyond, serving as a painful reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of protecting our children. As the investigation continues, the community holds on to the hope that justice will be served and that Madeline's memory will be honored by finding the person responsible for her death. For her family, the pain of her loss is a constant presence, a wound that time may never fully heal. But in their grief, they have found the strength to keep Madeline's story alive, to ensure that her death was not in vain. Through their advocacy, they hope to prevent other families from experiencing the same heartbreak and to bring attention to the dangers that can threaten our children. Conclusion: the case of Madeline Soto is one that leaves us with more questions than answers. A story of a life cut tragically short and a community left in mourning. As we await justice for Madeline, her story serves as a powerful reminder to cherish the ones we love and to remain vigilant in protecting those who are most vulnerable. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.